Once upon a time, a disciple asked Tathagata Gautam Buddha about the concept of karma. In response, Gautam Buddha smiled and decided to illustrate the idea through a story. He assured his disciples that after hearing this story, they would gain a profound understanding of what karma truly meant. Gautam Buddha began narrating the tale. In a certain kingdom, there was a king who, during a tour of his realm with his minister, encountered a market. In that market, the king's attention was drawn to a particular shopkeeper. Without apparent reason, the king felt a sudden impulse to issue a death sentence to the shopkeeper the next day. Perplexed by this notion, the king shared his intention with the minister, who, in response, subtly diverted the king's attention by engaging him in other activities, moving away from the vicinity of the shopkeeper. The minister, troubled by the situation, couldn't fathom the reason behind the king's sudden decision. He pondered why the king, without any interaction or consideration, was contemplating such a severe verdict. After completing their tour and returning to the court, the minister found himself unable to sleep throughout the night. In the morning, driven by concern, the minister disguised himself as an ordinary person and visited the shopkeeper. Approaching the shopkeeper, the minister inquired about the product sold, to which the shopkeeper replied, "I sell sandalwood." Then the minister inquired about the shopkeeper from people in the vicinity. All of them mentioned that the shopkeeper, always somber, never engages in conversations with anyone. The minister grasped the situation and returned to the shopkeeper, questioning him about his perpetual sadness. The shopkeeper explained, "I stay disheartened because customers come, admire the beauty and fragrance of the sandalwood in my shop, but none make a purchase. That's why I am so disheartened." Feeling a sense of melancholy upon hearing the shopkeeper's plight, the minister pondered why a shopkeeper should be unhappy if the merchandise is of good quality, with no issues. The minister speculated that the shopkeeper's miseries might stem from his economic struggles. However, the minister was puzzled about why the king wanted to execute the shopkeeper. The answer to this lingering question eluded the minister. He once again queried the shopkeeper, asking, "Brother, what would you do if all your sandalwood is arranged in a manner that appeals to buyers?" In response, the shopkeeper, with a touch of anger, declared, "Yes, I know my sandalwood sticks will remain unsold in that case. That's why I believe the king of our country should die as soon as possible. If he dies, I could offer my sandalwood for his funeral in the royal court, earning some money. Additionally, it would bring attention to my sandalwood sticks, attracting customers to my shop." The minister, comprehending the shopkeeper's predicament, devised a clever plan. He purchased some sandalwood sticks from the shopkeeper, bringing a momentary sense of relief and happiness to the latter. Returning to the court with the sandalwood, the minister presented it to the king, revealing the source. The king appreciated the fragrance of the sandalwood and expressed his delight. He rewarded the minister with gold coins, instructing him to convey to the shopkeeper that henceforth the palace would exclusively procure sandalwood from his shop. The minister, now smiling, contemplated that the idea of hanging the shopkeeper would likely not cross the king's mind, as the shopkeeper had now assumed the responsibility of supplying sandalwood for the royal court. The minister returned to the shopkeeper with the gold coins. At this moment, the king pondered that the shopkeeper was indeed a virtuous person. While contemplating his earlier intention to hang the shopkeeper the next day, it occurred to him that when Rajan had visited his shop for the first time, he had entertained the idea of gifting him some of his exquisite and fragrant woods. Astonishingly, even as the king had contemplated hanging him, the shopkeeper appeared before him with a gift. The minister arrived at the shopkeeper's location. Handing over the gold coins bestowed by the king, the minister informed the shopkeeper that these were in recognition of the sandalwood sticks purchased the previous day. The king had expressed great admiration for the sandalwood, and as a token of appreciation sent these gold coins. The shopkeeper was elated to receive this news. Additionally, the minister conveyed that henceforth the court would exclusively procure sandalwood from his shop whenever the need arose. The shopkeeper was overjoyed at the minister's proclamation. Curious, the minister asked the shopkeeper why he had harbored negative thoughts about the king. He pointed out the king's genuine care for him, emphasizing the goodness of kings who never harbor ill intentions towards their subjects. Realizing his misjudgment, the shopkeeper expressed remorse for his negative thoughts about the king. He acknowledged the king's goodness and prayed for his long life, bringing happiness to both the shopkeeper and the minister. Subsequently, the minister returned to the court. Ending the story, Tathagata Gautama Buddha asked his disciples to define karma. Various disciples offered different perspectives, with some suggesting that deeds are expressed through words, actions, thinking, or feelings. Reflecting on their responses, Gautama Buddha concluded that the thoughts of a man are his actions. He emphasized that our thoughts dictate our actions, and the consequences of these actions determine our happiness or sorrow. Incorrect thoughts lead to wrong actions and, consequently, unhappiness, while right thoughts result in correct actions and bring happiness into our lives. Friends, let's delve into a simpler understanding of karma. Karma, in essence, translates to action. Every occurrence in the universe constitutes some form of action, or karma. Essentially, karma aligns with the straightforward principle of action and reaction. All our deeds or karma follow this principle, and each action begets a consequence. To illustrate, consider throwing a glass, an action, and its subsequent breaking, which is the reaction. Similarly, excessive rain can be viewed as an action, and flooding represents its consequence. The outcome, whether favorable or unfavorable, hinges entirely on the nature of our actions. Contrary to the common belief that a higher power determines our joys and sorrows, Indian tradition asserts that we are the architects of our destiny. Our actions and their consequences dictate our happiness or sorrow. Therefore, it is often said that one is the creator of their own fate. The result of karma is essentially one's destiny, and the way we conduct ourselves is entirely within our control. Hence, when individuals persist in performing virtuous deeds, their fortunes tend to improve. Consider two children. One consistently endeavors to learn and excel in various pursuits from an early age, while the other lacks enthusiasm and commitment in any endeavor. With time, the first child becomes a successful individual, while the second continues to face challenges in life. Although the second child may attribute the first one's success to good luck, it is in reality a result of their virtuous deeds. Changing our destiny is achievable by altering our karma. This holds true for both positive and negative outcomes. However, the manner in which a person acts is significantly influenced by their upbringing, family, society, and environment. In many cases, individuals tend to follow in the professional footsteps of their parents. This inclination stems from our minds and bodies absorbing information from our surroundings, guiding our actions based on the accumulated knowledge. As a consequence, we often find ourselves performing routine tasks unconsciously. Approximately 99% of our daily activities are carried out without conscious awareness, as our bodies and minds execute familiar actions automatically. This automated functioning sometimes leads us to believe that an external force is guiding us. In reality, our actions have become ingrained habits. If we were to approach most tasks with conscious intent, we would realize that our destiny is indeed within our grasp. Awareness allows us complete control over our actions. Gautam Buddha conveyed the profound idea that our thoughts are the precursor to our actions. By maintaining control over our thoughts, particularly in a state of heightened awareness, we gain mastery over our actions. This alignment of thoughts and actions ultimately determines the outcomes we experience. Thus, Gautam Buddha underscored the importance of cultivating a pure mind, asserting that a purified mind fosters positive thoughts and actions. In essence, the wisdom of Gautam Buddha emphasizes the pivotal role of a clear and focused mind in shaping our destiny. If you discovered this information to be beneficial, kindly show your support by giving us a thumbs up, enabling us to reach a broader audience interested in ancient wisdom. For those who are joining us for the first time, consider subscribing and activating the notification bell for additional insights into ancient wisdom. We appreciate your viewership and we look forward to having you with us in our upcoming video. To explore further content, feel free to select one of the videos that will be displayed on your screen.